Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Report. Uh, this is going to be a very Brewer-centric episode because the Packers were in OTAs. The Bucks hired their head coach. The one thing for the Bucks is they hired Terry Stotts as an assistant coach, so that's good. A very offensive-minded coach when he was a head coach, so hopefully he can help our offense grow and be better. But let's get to the Brewers. To start the week, they had Monday off and they designated for assignment Voigt, and they brought up Abraham Toro to the big league club. So a little bit of a homecoming for Abraham Toro because he's from Canada, and they were playing up in Toronto for the first 3 games of the series. Also, Jesse Winkler went on the IL, so that's where they made room because Voigt was already on the IL. So he got DFA'd. Winkler created the roster spot for Toro to be called up, so that's where we're at now. So on Tuesday, the Brewers lost 7-2. Adrian Hauser threw 4 1/3 innings, giving up 6 earned. They didn't really hit him hard. They hit a bunch of singles, 1 double to score a run, but otherwise it was a single, just not hitting the ball hard. There was even a fielder's choice that scored a run, so just didn't hit the ball hard, just hit it where they ain't. And sometimes that's baseball. You'll give up runs because they're just hitting the ball where your defenders aren't. But offensively, not much to talk about. Just scored 2 runs. So lost game 1 of that series, and then Wednesday, game 2 of the series, 142. Julio Tran threw 6 innings with no earned runs. Did give up a run, but it was not earned. Toro in the second inning hit a 2-run home run to give the Brewers a lead, and then Miller also had a 2 RBI double, and Devin Williams got the save. In that game, the Brewers pitching staff did not record a single strikeout and held Toronto to only 2 runs. So you don't always have to get strikeouts to be good pitching. So that's, game 1, you get nickel and dime, you don't get a strikeout, or you don't get, they hit it where your defenders aren't, and you score a bunch of runs. The next day, they hit it right to your defenders most of the game to help you out and help to only give up 2 runs. Then Thursday, they lost 3-1. Freddie Peralta gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Bo Bichette and Chapman both had home runs, with Chapman having a 2-run home run. The only Brewers run was Brian Anderson grounding into a double play to score a run in the 9th inning. So there was kind of some momentum, but it was like a fake comeback. Never really had a real opportunity to win the game. On Friday, it was an Apple TV game, so some of you may have not been able to watch it. They won 5-4 in 11 innings. Both teams, the Brewers didn't get a ton of hits in the game throughout. They're facing a lefty starting pitcher, so always a struggle to score against left-handed pitchers for the Brewers to get hits, even for the Brewers. Corbin Burns threw 6 1/3, gave up 3 runs, and ended up getting ejected in the 6th inning, arguing with the home plate umpire. Pampas, Strzelecki, Williams, Pereiro, Wilson combined for no earned runs. Wilson did give up a run in the 11th, but it was the ghost runner, so it wasn't an earned run. So that's how we go. So our bullpen really came in and shut the door and just closed it, so there was nothing left for them to do. In the 11th, we didn't score on a hard hit ball either. We scored on a fielder's choice, the first one. They tried to turn a fielder's choice, and they just took it. And then in the second one, we had a runner on first and third, and the Trang swung, and it was a little dribbler to the pitcher who didn't field it cleanly. And instead of going home to get out Mascarero, who was called up for when Willy Adames got hurt, he was coming home. He tried to go to second and then first to get the double play, but Bryce Trang was too fast and beat it out, and so we ended up getting that second run, which is big because the other team starts with a runner on second in extra innings, so getting that second run is always nice. So that was how that game went. Ruff and Tyrone Taylor both got hurt during the game. Both got put on the 10-day IL. So Blake Perkins and John Singleton got called up. Blake Perkins was up early in the year. John Singleton was the first time called up. I think they said since like either 2020 or 2001. Early in the year, it's been over I think 1,000 days for him. So that's really good for him. Just kept grinding and working, and ended up making it back to the show. On Saturday, the Brewers won 10-8. Colin Ray threw 5 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. This was more about the offense this game. We scored 10 runs in the first inning, headlined by a Blake Perkins grand slam. So his first career home run was a grand slam home run. We scored all 10 runs in the first 4 innings. And then just held on, gave up 8 runs throughout the game, but Devin Williams ended up getting a save in the 9th to finish it off. And then Sunday, they won 5-1. Adrian Hauser, sometimes when the other team puts the ball in play, you give up little nickel dime hits. Sometimes you pitch 7 innings and only give up 1 run, and you do a great job pitching, and you have really good command of a sinker. He's a contact pitcher that throws sinkers and really tries to just get you to hit the ball into the ground. So he had a really good game there. Mastriano, again, who got called up when Willy Adames got hurt last Friday. Replacement had a 3-run home run, his first home run of his career, along with, this Red Series on Friday night, he had a really good game. He scored the 2nd run in extras. He had a hit to kind of get that inning going. He did some really good things in that Friday game, made a really good defensive play in the 11th inning to help propel the team to victory. Hirotini also had a solo home run for 4 of the 5 runs were those 2 plays. So the Brewers are currently 32-27, 5 games over 500, and a half game above Pittsburgh, 6 ahead of Cincinnati and Chicago, and 7.5 above St. Louis. There is still another game in this series, the weird Friday to Monday 4-game series, and then they'll be back home for series from Tuesday to Thursday, and then they play the A's Friday to Sunday. So at home, both those series. In other news, Willy Adames on Friday and Saturday was in Appleton doing concussion protocol work, and Saturday after doing non-contact baseball activities, he got cleared for the game on Sunday. I had tickets for the game on Sunday anyways, so I ended up going. He looks fine. It was his first time seeing live pitching. He had 5 plate appearances. He had a double, a home run that he absolutely crushed, a walk. He also had 2 fly balls, but you're not going to get a hit every time. It's still baseball. Even if you're playing hitting that's not at the level you're used to, or playing pitching that's at a lower level than what you're used to. But it was still, he looked comfortable in the box. You never know when a guy gets hit in the head with a baseball, when a baseball's coming at him, how comfortable he's going to be in the box. So Giancarlo Stanton got hit in the ball, and he still at times is flinching, scared. It took him a long time to get over that, just sense of not wanting to get hit in the head and overreacting for anything that was somewhat close. So it's good. He looked comfortable. He looked ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised if he meets the team back in Milwaukee on Tuesday when they get back.
Hi, Future Colin here. Just wanted to give an update. There was a report that Willy Adames will be doing a rehab appearance Tuesday and Wednesday in Nashville, and will be back with the team Thursday. And Luis Urias plans to be with the team sometime during the Baltimore series.
So, but it just wasn't, watching him today just made it seem to me more that the Brewers need to extend Willy Adames. I know the shortstop market is incredible, it's out of the world, but Willy Adames is such a good clubhouse leadership guy. Even at when he was on a rehab start with High A, he was on the top step. Javon Ward hit a home run, and he was the first to meet him like he does with the Brewers, except because he always is the one that put the cheese head on, except there was no cheese head, but he still like went, congratulated him, talked to him, was always at the top step there talking. I mean, he was there all the time. They made a pitching change, and a player was watching film, and he was with that player watching film, talking through it. Like, so that energy of wanting to play, and even when it wasn't his team, and he's probably not going to play with these guys because they're a couple of years away, unless he gets extended, and then he might get to play with some of them. But they're either not good enough or a couple years, or like 4 or 5 years away, that he could just show up, do his work, leave, not really care, just do his own thing. But Willy didn't do that. He was there, he was into it, he was, always around and enjoyed being with his temporary teammates. It probably helped he was there Friday and Saturday doing other activities, so he got to talk to them a little bit more and do stuff. But just that personality, taking that leadership role and just having the love of playing baseball and trying to help your teammates at all times is such a great thing. I love that. It was great to see it in person. And I'll also say, if you have an opportunity to go to a Timber Rattlers game or any minor league baseball game, go. It's usually cheaper. You can, see some players, do a little bit of research. If there's a minor league team that's not in the Brewers system that you live by, go do some research on that team's system and see who their good players are, because you never know. In the past years that I've gone, I've seen Garrett Mitchell play, I've seen South Relay play, I've seen Jackson Cheerio play, I've seen all these guys play that they all of a sudden make it to the majors, and it's cool because you have memories of watching them play when they were 18 to 23 years old before they made it, and you don't know if they're going to be as good as they are. So that's just my little thing. Support minor league baseball, support those smaller teams, because you don't know how long they're going to be around or if there's going to be a cut of minor league baseball, and you want those places in your area. It just creates more activities to do for your area. So yeah, sorry for very little Bucks talk, no Packers talk, but it's the off season for both of those. So we will continue on the grind with the Brewers for the time being, and we'll get to the Bucks and Packers and Badgers when there's news for those teams. Thanks. Have a great day.